The FMDQ OTC Exchange recently played host to the outgoing British Deputy High Commissioner to Nigeria, Ms. Laure Beaufils, as a way to celebrate her leadership and support to the growth and development of the financial market ecosystem in the country. After arriving the Exchange House, Ms. Beaufils took a tour of the facilities in the FMDQ OTC. At the formal reception, the MD/CEO of FMDQ OTC, Mr. Bola Onodele, thanked the British diplomats for all the support that the exchange enjoyed throughout our diplomatic service in Nigeria.
The agenda we have in FMDQ about providing prosperity to Nigerians is one that I think aligns with what most of the visitors that I meet around the table at your residence sort of also have. Is that we're discussing housing for Nigerians. It was always about Nigeria, solving the infrastructure problem in Nigeria, or climate change and how this affects Nigeria. So for me, we thought that alignment was important for us to sort of cement the conversations, the relationships that we have with the British government through the agencies that are represented there, especially DFID. Coming upstairs, Guy and I were discussing housing and climate change and things that are very important for the future. Yes, we're an exchange, but we're an exchange with a difference because of the strategic roles we believe we must in a developing country like Nigeria. So we are highly focused on infrastructure, but central to everything we're doing is actually prosperity in every form, either to individuals, either to companies, to Nigeria, and also the relationships, the partners for Nigeria. And I think the British government is, of course, through history, been a major partner to Nigeria, and that is going to increase, hopefully, especially in trade finance and also capital formation. The last visit, I think we were discussing export finance with you. So when you mentioned that you might be leaving Nigeria, we thought it was important to have an evening with you, not breakfast. We wanted to have an evening and do something different and to say thank you for everything you've done for FMDQ and people in FMDQ, and hope that the people that will take over from you, or the person that will take over, and the people that are left behind, we continue to support FMDQ, and FMDQ will be very much interested in presenting its programs to those agencies for support.
It featured presentations on the role of FMDQ as a market driver and a fireside chat. Ms. Laure Beaufils expressed gratitude for the warm reception she received from the FMDQ and described the exchange as the symbol of innovation to the Nigerian capital market.
It's precisely those values that were presented earlier and that objective of a more diversified and integrated financial market. Those are things that we believe in 100% and that we are also totally committed to delivering here in Nigeria. So we share the same vision, which is a vision of a prosperous Nigeria, of a Nigeria that goes from strength to strength, and working on financial markets, making them more open, more effective, more integrated and deeper is a key way of doing that. It's good for the people of Nigeria and it's good for the people of the UK. And when the Prime Minister came, one of the things she wanted to emphasize in her visit across Africa is the strength of relationship between financial services in the UK and that in Africa. And she considered all the places that she was going to visit and decided that she wanted to focus on Lagos as the place where she wanted to highlight and celebrate that story around financial services. And in Lagos, the place we wanted to focus on was FMDQ. So basically, FMDQ was the place in Africa where we wanted to celebrate. And there are many reasons for this. First of all, because of the shared vision and objective, which is not just about making big bucks, etc., but a much broader objective. And you mentioned in your presentation as well, infrastructure, climate change, housing. These are things we care deeply about, and that we focus on and try to really progress in our own ways through our integrated approach in the British government, through the Department for International Trade, the Foreign Office, the Department for International Development. So all of us share that passion and that belief that we can really make a difference here. I think for me, FMDQ also is a symbol of innovation. I struggle to believe that FMDQ is only 5 years old. It feels like you are so established already because you've done so much, because you've innovated on so many different fronts. We were just talking earlier about Europe being the ones who set the rules for commercial papers. You're having, forged new tools, new developments in the sector, and that is essential for poverty reduction as well as private sector development. And goodness knows we need a private sector that's 10 to 15 times the size of what it is today. And the depth of the of capital markets and financial services are a key way to make that happen. So for all of those reasons, we really celebrate what FMDQ is and what FMDQ symbolizes. We think that we've just started to build a strong relationship, but the future holds many, many more wonderful things in terms of actually taking it from an understanding of what's available and what's possible to actually delivering concrete results. And I have no doubt that the next few years we'll see a lot more relationships that come to fruition between firms in the UK, investors in the UK, key stakeholders in the City of London, and those in Lagos. And FMDQ will 100% undoubtedly play a key role in making that happen.
Highlights of the event was the formal presentation of a plaque to Ms. Laure Beaufils by the MD CEO FMDQ in recognition as her role in supporting market development. With Laure Beaufils leaving Nigeria for another diplomatic mission, it is expected that the incoming British Deputy High Commissioner will sustain the cordial relations between Nigerian and UK and support the development of the FMDQ OTC market.